Welcome to the bookmarketing.pro blog and podcast. This is a blog and podcast for book marketing and promotion success stories, industry insider secrets, and strategies. I'm your host, Bo Bennett. Hello, everybody. My name is Bo Bennett, and welcome to another episode of bookmarketing.pro. Today, I want to talk about a service called Help a Reporter Out, or helpareporter.com, also known as HARO, H-A-R-O. It's a very complex service, but I'm just going to get to the meat of what the service is about for authors. What does it mean to you as an author? Well, as an author, you can respond to requests by media companies, major media outlets, including television, major stations, major newspaper outlets, but also smaller outlets like bloggers and a lot of the major websites out there that post stories, news stories. Podcasters, producers, they will put out a request for a story. So maybe they're doing a story about finance, about the post-COVID home boom. So they will put a request out there for that story. It'll go out to everybody signed up for the service that has selected that category, that has an interest in, let's say, finance, homes, real estate, whatever other key term is associated with that. And they will get the request. You, as somebody interested in finance, being an expert in that area perhaps, would get the request. You can respond to the request and make yourself available to them as an expert in that area. Now, sometimes it either works where you would just send an email and you would just send some text, send like a paragraph, maybe just kind of a teaser of what you would talk about if they want to interview you. Sometimes they want you on TV, like in a studio. Sometimes they just want to do a video conference. Sometimes they just want to do a audio exchange, whether it be by telephone or Zoom or something, Skype. And sometimes it's just something in writing. They want something in writing from you. So there's a lot of different types of media. And of course, you could look at the specific request and you'd find out what it is. But the bottom line here, what it's about you as an author getting your name out there, getting more exposure and having the opportunity to push your book or yourself. So if you are an author of nonfiction books, and I'll get to fiction in a moment, but mostly if you're an author of nonfiction books, if you're an expert in your area, and that's what makes you an expert in these books that you're writing, then this service is definitely for you. This is a great service because even if you just get your name out there and you don't get an opportunity to plug a specific book, that's still okay. Your name it's about recognition, recognizing you as an author. And as your name has more recognition, when somebody sees your book, let's say it's for sale at Amazon, they're going to say, hey, I know that person. I read an article in the Wall Street Journal and they were quoted, or they had a little piece in there about something. So you're establishing yourself as an expert. You're building up credibility. That's what this service is really good for. Now, if you are a writer of fiction books, the only way that this could really work for you is if somebody's asking about, let's say you write science fiction, and maybe they're doing a story on like some science fiction conference coming up. It's kind of a long shot, and I don't usually recommend this service to fiction writers, but it certainly is possible that they can get some benefit out of it. Now, one of the things with Help a Reporter Out, the service in itself, is if you sign up for this service, you have the option of selecting like some very broad categories of topics. Let's say like finance, maybe real estate, maybe medical. So very broad categories. And if you do that, you're going to get, maybe like 30, 40, 50 different requests 3 times a day. That's a lot of requests, and it can take quite a bit of time to review all the requests to decide which ones that you can actually answer. So what we've done at bookmarketing.pro is we have a service that does filtering for all of that. So we will take care of signing up at the HARO account for you. We'll actually give you a special email address that you can use, an email address at bookmarketing.pro that uses HARO's service. And the requests come into you, and you have a web-based interface where you can enter filtering keywords, as many as you want. And this makes all the difference, because instead of spending, let's say, even just 10 minutes a day going through all this, you're spending less than a minute a day. And it makes the difference between the service not really being worth it and the service being worth it. So the whole idea of filtering and keywords really does make the difference. So let's go through an average day, at least for me, what my day is like with HARO's service. So I currently have about 12 different books that I publish. Most of them, 11 of them, are nonfiction, and I do establish myself as an expert in several different areas. So what I've done is I've entered in keywords that are associated with what I do. For example, psychology is one word, and I actually use the keyword psychol because if that's in any word like psychology, psychologist, I just entered that one word, the partial word, and it still does the match, which is good. Critical thinking, reason, logic. And the list goes on. I've got about 15 to 20 different keywords in there. So that gives me a really good sampling of the questions being asked, where I'm not completely blocking off the ones by blocking off good requests by having too restrictive of words. So I'm getting just enough, and I could modify those anytime I want. It's very easy to go in there and just modify those keywords. And by that, I probably get maybe 3 times a day total. I'll probably get maybe 15 to 20 different requests. Out of those, I'll probably reply to just 2, maybe 3 requests a week. And out of those 2 or 3 requests a week, I probably am accepted for 2 or 3 of the articles. They actually use me as a source for about 2 or 3 per month. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's really not a lot of work at all. And getting yourself out there in different media sources 2 or 3 times a month is actually a really good thing. Now, everybody's experience will differ based on the topic or the topics that they are expert in, and the kind of keywords that they select for the filtering service and what they actually get. But what this is all about, again, is name recognition. It's about somebody seeing your name in the Wall Street Journal, on abc.com, or some major source, and then associating your name with your book when they do come across your book. And many times you get to have a backlink in the article. So for example, if one of the journalists wants your advice on home improvement, and that's your area, you can give the advice, and then you could also say, my website is, and you could leave your website where you have your books for sale and so forth. Or I'm the author of the book, whatever. And very often, pretty much all the time, the different media sources will let you have a plug or a backlink or something, and that could be extremely valuable. So this service is certainly worth it. It's a little bit less worth it if you do not have the correct filtering and you actually have to read through about 150 different requests per day. It kind of takes away from the utility of the service by investing so much time into it. So that's why the keyword filtering that we have set up at bookmarketing.pro is a really good and useful service. So I hope this helped you out when you're looking to increase your exposure as an author and you want to know how to do it. The Help a Reporter Out service is a fantastic one. And if you use the Help a Reporter Out service through bookmarketing.pro with the filtering option, that could be even better for you. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. To request your personalized book marketing and promotion report card and proposal, visit bookmarketing.pro/bookmarketing.